Thanks for joining us for July's TLC Tech Time. We're happy you're here. My name is Emily. I'm an instructional designer at the TLC. And our topic today is a course setup checklist, getting your course ready for students. So the goal of this session is for you to be able to launch a course you know is ready, organized, published, checked for broken links, previewed as a student, and has a welcome message waiting for students. So let's get into the demo, which will walk through a checklist. So before students arrive, here's a checklist in the order you can actually set up your course in. And many of these checks are things that you can do throughout the course. So I will go ahead and share my screen so we can see this checklist in a Canvas course. So the first thing we want to do is set your homepage. So create a homepage that has a banner, course name, your contact info, and this just serves as a very clear starting place for students so they know what to do on day one. So to set your homepage, click Pages from the course navigation menu, and then click View All Pages if you need to choose that one. And then scroll through your list of pages and identify the one that you want to serve as your homepage. So mine is indicated by this tag front page. I will click the three dots next to the name, and I'm going to go ahead and remove it as front page just so you see when you click yours, it'll say use as front page. So I select use as front page, and now I can go back to my home page. So I'll click home in the course navigation menu. And on this home page, I have a button that says choose homepage. So let me go ahead and click choose homepage. And now I'm going to select pages front page, and that's the name of my page, homepage template, and I'll save that. And now we should see here's our homepage. And another thing that we see here on our homepage is announcements. So you might want announcements to show on your homepage, and this is another step in your checklist. So once we've got this homepage set, we might configure some more settings. So let me scroll down in my course navigation menu and click settings. To set announcements on your homepage, we'll start here in this course details page and go all the way to the bottom of the page where I see some checkboxes for display and permissions. And one that we'll want to check is show recent announcements on the course homepage. The default is to show 3 announcements on the homepage. So if you use the announcements tool in Canvas, having those show on the homepage, ensure that the students see them. They're right there front and center in your course. And you might review some of these other permissions. I like the default ones, so I'm not going to change any of those. But one more thing that I will adjust while I'm in here is the course image. So I'm going to go ahead and click course image and drag a picture in there. So this is a good way to help you and your students to visually distinguish your courses on your dashboard. So now I'll click Update Course Details to save those changes that I just made. And now let's think about how students navigate the course itself. So another thing we can configure is the course navigation menu. So within your settings, click Navigation at the top of your settings page, and we'll see items in the course navigation menu. So this course navigation menu is a series of links on the left side of your screen that allows you and your students to access specific areas and tools within your course. So we want this menu to be organized, to reduce clutter, so students only see what they need. So from our settings page, we can drag and drop. Maybe I want assignments to be closer to the top of the list, so I'll drag and drop that. There might be things here that you don't want to show. Perhaps I don't use quizzes in this course, so I'll click the 3 dots next to quizzes and select disable. And now that will remove it from the course navigation menu. I might also disable pages since I have my course organized in modules. That might be something else that I drag up closer to the top. So once I have this organized, I'm going to click Save so that it saves my changes that I just made. And now in your course navigation menu, you'll see these items with a eyeball with a slash through it icon. That indicates that it's not visible to students. So recall I disabled quizzes, and in fact, in my course nav bar, it shows that it's disabled and hidden from student view. You as the instructor will still see these things and you can click into them. So this just cleans this up, makes it a little bit more organized for students. And now students can access it in an easier way, perhaps. And notice also that in settings is where the link validator lives. This button, validate links and contents. That's a great check to run during course setup. And we'll come back to that once we've got content in here to actually check. And this is assuming that you've already created content in your course using the syllabus, assignment, discussion pages, etc. So that's our next step, to make sure that your content that you've created is published and visible. So you might start with your syllabus, add content there, update it, to make sure that it's visible. And you might create content in Canvas from other areas of your course, like modules. So I'll go ahead and click modules. And this modules page helps you organize your content to control the flow of a course. And we want to make sure that items inside the course are published, indicated by this green check mark. If you want to unpublish something, we just select. So we toggle on and off the publish. And if it's published, it'll have a green check mark. We also want to make sure that we publish the actual module. So in the title of the module, there is a publish button. We can publish all items and the module to make sure it's all visible to students. And I'll go ahead and select that one. And another thing you might check is assignments or discussions if you have discussions. So I'll click into assignments to, again, make sure those are all published. And I also want to check my due dates are correct. I might set assignment groups. So I have groups, project, assignments, homework. You might set those types of groups, check your due dates here, as well as in discussions or quizzes if you use those. So now I have content in my course. It's published and students can technically get here right now. But before asking students to actually visit this content, I want to make sure everything works. So that's where the link validator can be a big help. So to access the link validator, in your course navigation menu, click on settings once again, and I can find this button, validate links and content, on the settings page. So I'll click validate links and content, and this will search course content and identify any invalid or broken or unresponsive links in both published and unpublished content. So in this month's Canvas in 5, we discussed the link validator. You might have seen it there. So today, let's consider how to fix some of the broken links that it identifies. So the first broken link you see identified is in this discussion called Barry's case study. So this link is flagged, and the issue is that links to other courses in this resource may not be accessible by students in this course. So let's say I copied this discussion from a previous term's course, and in this discussion is a link to a page called Barry's case, but I didn't copy this Barry's case page into my current course. So the link in the discussion still points back to last term's version, which my students in this course can't access. So if I want to update this link, I can open Barry's discussion. I'm going to open it in a new tab so that I don't lose my list of broken links. And I can find the link in question and just edit this page as usual, swap out the link, or copy that page in here if I need to take another step like that. And then some other types of broken links that you might find are something like this reminder exam review 3 that flags external links in this resource were unreachable. So here I have a Zoom link that it's not accessible. So we might have external websites that aren't accessible anymore. They might be a 404 not found or something like that. So we have to find a new website or just unlink that from my page. Another common issue we might see is in this template homepage that I have flagged issues for unpublished content referenced in this resource and deleted content. So I made the syllabus page and then I deleted it, but I forgot to unlink it. So I'll have to change that. My template homepage also links to an orientation page that I forgot to publish. So if I just open this orientation page, I can toggle on here, publish, and now that solves the problem. So the link validator catches all kinds of broken links. And after you've updated them, you can click Restart Link Validation to confirm there are no other issues found. Another helpful way to verify course content is to use Student View. So this is another check in our checklist. I'll have to leave settings for this, so I'll just click on Home. And now on the home page, I can access the View as Student button. So I will go ahead and click View as Student. You'll have to have pages published in order to see it in Student View. And once you're in Student View, you'll see this pink outline. And there's a note in the pink outline at the bottom that resetting the test student will clear all history for the student, allowing you to view the course as a brand new student. So once you click View as Student, a test student is created in your grade book. So I'll go ahead and click Grades. And you can submit quizzes, assignments, or discussions in Student View as a test student. So this is a great way to verify that your assignments are working properly. And once you have used Test Student a little bit, you will grow a history in here. I see scores and missing and things like that. So if you want to clean all that out, we can click Reset Student, and that clears out all that history. So now you can go through the course again as if you're a brand new student seeing it for the first time. So you might want to view multiple pages in Student View to catch errors. And another thing you might want to do is to use Student View on mobile in the Canvas Student app, since many students might be viewing your content on phones. I'll go ahead and leave Student View. So Student View and the Link Validator are both great ways to catch issues. And there's actually another helpful tool for this, which is UDoIt and the accessibility tool here in your course navigation menu. But those are deeper topics for its own session, so stay tuned for that in September. For now, we have already been able to check for issues, and we're ready to go to the last piece in our checklist. And once your course is set up, your content is published, you've checked for links, you've walked through it as the test student, now you can let students know that the course is ready for them. So you may choose to welcome students through an announcement. So let me click Announcements from my course navigation menu. And I have one created, a welcome to the course. And these Canvas announcements by default notification settings will get emailed to students. So the announcement lives in the course also, so it's there whenever students log in. So in my welcome announcement, a few things are worth covering here. So first, where to start. So I'm going to point students to exactly what page I want them to go to first, what to expect in the first week, things that are due, and how to reach me if they get stuck. And remember, we configured the course settings to show recent announcements on the homepage, so it'll be there for students. And that's it. That is our pre-course checklist you can follow. We set the homepage, configured settings, cleaned up the course navigation menu, published our content, checked the links, used Student View, and now we have a welcome message. And there might be a few other things you'd like to set up, like the gradebook or set assignment group weights, but we've explored those in past Tech Times and Canvas in 5 videos, so I won't repeat those here. But if you would like more information about using Canvas or setting up a course, you can go to the Help button in your Canvas global navigation menu and click into Training Services portal. There's a wide range of helpful resources there. So let me stop sharing my screen since we have concluded the demo portion. And thank you for watching this month's Tech Time. I hope this course setup checklist is helpful. And if you have any questions on any of the items covered today, please reach out to us at the TLC, and we look forward to seeing you next time.